Hi, everybody. My name is Maria, and I think this is my third video or fourth video. Yesterday was April 1st. I know, April Fool's Day, right? But it's been 1 year that I have been on my journey, my weight loss journey with Zepbound. And I am down a whopping 121 pounds. I just wanted to just talk about go back to where it started and where I am right now. So 1 year ago, at this point, I felt kind of stuck. I was kind of like at rock bottom. On three medications for my blood pressure. My last blood work was a nice way to say not all that great. My AC1 was at 6.0, which was pre-diabetic. I was heading in a wrong direction, and I felt like I had to do something. My sister Denise had recommended a GLP-1 medication back in November. I just wasn't ready to take a injectable medication. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to take a needle. But after a couple months of things still not working and my mobility was getting worse and my life kind of pretty much sucked, I took the plunge. I made an appointment at my primary care doctor. I made an appointment with a newer doctor, which I was told was prescribing this medication to other people and had a different take than other doctors that I have seen, which would always say just watch what you eat, do more movement, and that would be it. Hey, genius, like everyone doesn't know that. But it just wasn't working for me. So on that day, I went to the doctors. He prescribed me the medication. He sent it in to CVS. CVS had none in stock at this time. I guess there was a shortage, just was around this time. Then sent it to Walgreens, and then I sent it to Walmart, then sent it to Weis. I was going around drugstore to drugstore like I was trying to buy crack or something. It was kind of ridiculous and a little surreal at the time. But I finally got it. I brought it home and I kind of just stared at that box. My husband, Peter, I'm like, you're going to have to give me this shot because I can't do it. First of all, just some backstory. I am deadly, like, hate needles. Never liked needles. Whenever I used to get blood work, they used to have such a hard time getting my blood because I have rolling veins. When I had both my children in the hospital, it was just a miserable experience with the whole thing with, needles. But I said, you're going to give me the shot. And I sat there all tensed up, ready, like I was like scared. He gave it to me and he's like, I'm done. And I literally felt nothing. So about 3 hours later, we're going to have dinner. He literally made me enough food that would fit in a ramekin. If anybody knows what a ramekin is, it's like maybe that big, little tiny ramekin. I made sure that I have some protein in there. I could not even finish the food. It was remarkable. I mean, I was so full. I could not believe it. Now, when I got the medication, I knew that, it's supposed to work, but it does not work for everyone. I was lucky enough, knock on wood, that I was a great responder for it, and it worked. I ate that night. I could really, ate as much like a baby would eat, and I was full. Full. The next morning, I had no appetite. I literally, my husband's like, you got to eat something. I ate an egg. I started to have some of the side effects that they tell you, nausea, like nausea, like when you're pregnant, nausea, like you just didn't want to eat. Your tummy was upset. Constipation, but again, before I started, I researched a lot. I watched other influencers on YouTube and doctors on YouTube. So I knew that you needed to make sure you got your protein in. I knew that you needed to drink a lot of water because when you eat a lot of protein, you need water. And you don't want to get constipated, so you need to eat your veggies and your fruit. Now, most people think just because you're fat that we all eat like French fries and McDonald's and crap. That was never an issue for me. I came from first generation Italian. My parents were from Italy. We had no junk in the food. My issue was always portion control and emotional eating. Now, you learn, and I've learned going through nutritionist, portion control is big. A serving of pasta is a half a cup. Italians don't eat a half a cup of pasta. I mean, my mom would give us like a bowl of pasta, which was probably like 5 servings. And you didn't think anything of it. That's the way that you grew up. Now, there's 3 daughters, and I'm the only one who was the heavy one. Everybody else was thinner. I mean, I'm not saying they don't work at their weight, but for me, it's always been hard to keep it off. When I was younger, it was a lot easier, but, things happen. Life happens. So going back to the journey, it worked for me, and I was so like, oh my God, this is actually going to work. So weeks went by, and the weight came off. I stayed on the first dose of 2.5, which is the starter dose, for 4 months, which a lot of people trigger up, which means they go up to the next dosage within a month. But I'm like, my doctor's like, is it working for you? I'm like, I am stuffed and I'm not hungry. And he's like, well, then we're going to stay where we are. After 4 months, the 5th month, I said, you know what? I'm having what they call food noise, meaning like you start craving stuff, like at night, like I would start craving stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I worked too hard for this. So I'm like, we're going to go up. And I was actually scared to take the next dosage because the first one worked so well. And I really learned how to control the side effects. So triggering up, I was like, oh my God, what am I in for now? So I went to 5.0. Definitely had a lot more fatigue, meaning, oh my God, you take your first shot the first 72 hours. For me, I mean, everyone's different, but for me, I was out. I mean, I was tired. My back was hurting. My legs were hurting. Almost like when you get your period and you just want to crawl up in a ball and stay in bed. So, I mean, that was big for me. I was like, oh my God. So, then I started taking some electrolytes in my water, and making sure that I had different types of vitamins and probiotics to help with all the other side effects. So 5.0 was going great. I was on that for another, I want to say 4 months, 5 months. And then I'm like, you know what? We're going to go up. So I went up to 7.5, and that's where I am still today. So it's been 1 year and 1 day because today is April 2nd. Still on 7.5, and it still works for me. At the current time, I am spacing my shots out every 10 days. As most of you would probably know if you did any research, this medication is extremely expensive. And like, again, it's been working for me so well. I'm like, and I know that I don't want to be on it forever. I don't consider this a magic shot or magic pill, whatever you want to say. I consider it a tool. I'm using this tool to get myself back to being mobile, to being being able to do all the things I want to do. I mean, now, God, I can get into a car without using a seatbelt extender. I can go on a plane without a seatbelt extender. I can sit in a chair and be only like, oh my God, am I going to fit in a chair? And I fit in a chair. Oh God, what else? I mean, going in to get clothes now and not having to get a size 5X or 6X, and starting to actually fit into clothes that I can get at a normal store. God, I can't even, I'm trying to think of all the things that have changed in this one year. Being able to walk around the store, like I went this weekend to Home Goods, my favorite place, and actually walked around for an hour without like not dying. Being able to go upstairs without being out of breath. I mean, people that are skinny or not overweight take so many things for granted. There are a lot of stress points when you're heavy. I mean, thinking about just normal stuff that you would never think of that you do when you're heavy. And that is a lot of anxiety. So I can't believe it's been a year. I am down 121 pounds. Again, I think I want to go for another 60 more pounds. I take a week at a time because for me, this is not a diet. This is long term. Changing my food habits. It was more, again, I always ate pretty well. It's just the portion control I have learned, and I've learned to utilize different things, going for protein first, making sure I get in my water. Getting the water is a big thing, and drinking 100 ounces of water is a lot of water. And at first, you're constantly going to the bathroom, but then your body gets used to it, and it's not as bad. My last blood panel came back, and the numbers are awesome. My doctor was floored, and there's like a whole bunch of us in his group, and I'm towards the top. I'm not anybody special. I am just making this a priority in my life. And I've been saying it all year. This is my year. God, I didn't want to get emotional. I decided to take the time to make myself healthy. So unfortunately, I have to put other things on the back burner and say, you know what? I have to worry about me. So this is not a crying deal because this is a happy occasion. Like I said, I can't even think of the last time that I stayed on something this long, a whole year. And it didn't even feel like a year. I was like, holy crap, it's been a year. And I can't believe it. And I'm just going to keep on going. I'm just going to keep going. I have the tools to help me lose it. I have new healthy habits. I have a new exercise program. So many things have changed over the year, and there's more to come. So if anybody's thinking about trying a GLP-1 medication, I wouldn't think about it anymore. I would just do it. Go to your doctor and get all your blood work done. Try it. I mean, listen, if you don't try something or you don't start anything, you're going to be in the same boat 1 year later. I think that's all for tonight. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.